Memorial Center. I'm Courtney Bell, and welcome to Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. Tonight's game features Shayne Corson. Now, the Peterborough Petes would like to acknowledge the land on which we gather to cheer on your mighty maroon and white. It's the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Mississauga, adjacent to the Haudenosaunee territory and the territory covered by Treaty 20 and Williams Treaty. Now, fans, we'd also like to remind you to please stay alert at all times on your couch during pregame activities, during the game, and in stoppages in play, as pucks, sticks, and other flying debris can cause serious injury. Now, fans, we'd also like to remind you that no objects are to be thrown onto the ice, unless, of course, it's a hat for a Pete's hat trick. In that case, you can retrieve your hat from your front porch after the game. We thank you once again for your cooperation.
Hi, it's Shayne Corson, live from Peterborough on a Thursday night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Robinson goes in, shoots,
What a hit by Declan Chisholm.
Hunter Jones right there.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Night Live, presented by Subway. I'm Courtney Bell, and tonight, Riley Miracle will be interviewing our guest for the show, Shayne Corson. So, Riley, take it away.
All right, thanks, Courtney. Yes, I'm Riley Miracle, and welcome to Thursday Night Live, presented by Subway. I'm excited to be joined by Shayne Corson. Shayne, tell us how you're doing during the pandemic. How's life been for you over the past 14 or so months?
Well, thanks very much for having me, first of all. I think it's like just everybody. It's been tough. It's not easy. I mean, I suffer with mental health illness already, and going through this has been real tough, but I have the tools now that I can deal with it and have good support. And been doing a lot of Zoom calls, as we were talking earlier, a lot of Zoom calls, more than I've ever thought. I wasn't much of a tech guy, and I'm learning to do things now because I have no choice, but doing well, trying to stay busy as I can and on a schedule and working out. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'll tell you that. I got a Peloton and I've been riding that a lot. So doing well.
What goes better together than an ice cold beer and a hockey game? The Petes are excited to announce our partnership with Bobcaygeon Brewery and the official launch of the Petes Lager. This refreshingly crisp light beer gives nod to 65 years of Petes history. Petes Lager is available for purchase on the Bobcaygeon Brewery website or storefront, at local restaurants in Peterborough and surrounding areas, and soon at the beer store. Now, Shayne, you spent 3 years in the OHL. Share with us some of your memories from your time in the league, and if you have any memories against the Peterborough Petes.
Playing the OHL was amazing. I was lucky enough to have a great GM and coach that drafted me, Dave Draper. He went on to the Colorado Avalanche, but he was a superhuman being and treated us real well. He knew that we were people, not just hockey players. And he was really, really good and fair with me and put me in a position to be successful. So to be drafted by him and the Brantford Alexanders at that time. And then we moved, our owner, Jack Robart, was an amazing person too and treated us great. Moved us to Hamilton for my last 2 years. But just the experience that I had there was so great. Some great teammates, Bobby Probert that I played with. He was my left winger for my first year and a half. So I was protected pretty well and could go about my business and play hockey, and he took care of everything else. So I felt lucky to have a great organization, and they're the ones that I owe a lot to them for the career that I had and get me to the next level and realize my dream in the NHL. So it was pretty lucky to have the coach and GM and the teammates that I had, and the organization I had, and the owner that I had. And like I was mentioning, they were just a big reason why I made it to the NHL. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't have got there. Playing against the Petes was always incredible. Peterborough Petes are a historic OHL team. They put out some great players. I played with one of them, Bob Gainey. Stevie Leskovar, I played with him in the Olympics and in the Olympics in '98. So got to know him pretty well. And they turn out great players. And the city of Peterborough is just a great fan base, and they support their team. And I remember playing there many times in that old barn, and it was a great place to play hockey. And I know they've done some renovations and different things on the current building now, because I was in there watching my son play in the OHL a few times. So just great fans, great hockey town. And Steve Larmer, another buddy of mine, was my roommate in the 1991 Canada Cup. Another Pete, and he lives there now. And so I chat with him once in a while. But just a great organization and a great hockey town.
We're a few months removed, obviously, from the World Junior Hockey Championship, but it was a tournament that you competed in 2 different times. Tell us about the pressure that comes with that tournament and what it meant to you to be able to represent Team Canada.
Well, I mean, it was great. The year we won, we actually won in '85. We won in Finland, and it was first. I think it's the first time a team had won gold medal in Europe, and it's just an unbelievable experience. Anytime you can put the Canadian jersey on, put that leaf on, and represent your country, because then everybody is a fan of yours, not just your club team, right? So it's pretty cool representing your country. And to win over in Finland, we were such a close-knit group of guys, and to win over there and be successful, and so many great memories, and playing in that tournament was incredible. And then luckily for me, the second tournament was held in Hamilton, my home junior town, at the new Coliseum there. And I think it was called Cops Coliseum, actually, and I'm not sure what it's called now. But to play it in Hamilton and represent your country, and the building was just packed. It was 17,000 people in there every night, going crazy. But unfortunately for us, we lost the Russians that year. We ended up winning the silver medal. And the year before, we actually kicked the Russians' butt 5-0. So it was pretty cool. But just to play with all those great players from the different leagues across Canada. In the CHL was just pretty cool, and to create friendships and memories was pretty amazing. Got to play with Clarkie, Wendell Clark, in the first World Juniors. He was like our 13th forward. He was a defenseman, came in and was our 13th forward, but a couple of games in the tournament, he got a couple of shifts and played real well. So he started playing a lot more and was a big part of our win in '85, obviously. And the Gary Roberts guy I played with in Toronto, who we had our battles in the OHL, was a teammate of mine in Hamilton, Joey Neuendijk, Joey Murphy, a guy that's not doing that great right now, and hopefully he's doing a lot better, but he was a great teammate. Sandlack, just so many guys that I can remember. And then I ended up playing with Stéphane Richer in Montreal after the World Juniors, and obviously Greg Johnson, the guy from my hometown, and Barry, we played together and won a gold medal together. So that's pretty cool. We were in the Hall of Fame, and Barry, the two of us, for that gold medal. So it was pretty cool. But just the memories and representing your country and playing with all the great players across Canada, different leagues, is pretty cool.
Fans, welcome to the first intermission of Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. We are going to spend the next few weeks celebrating some of our prospects. Tonight, we will chat with Stevie Leskovar. Enjoy this feature.
My story started when I was about probably 4 years old, and I just was going onto the mall skating, and ever since then I just loved the game. I just wanted to get more into playing hockey, and I started playing Timbits when I was little, and I enjoyed it, so I started playing more and more, and then now I'm gotten a lot better over the years, and now I'm getting drafted by Peterborough, which is pretty much a dream come true, and yeah, that's how I got there. I think my favorite player growing up would probably be Morgan Riley. just the way he makes that first pass out of the zone and how he plays defense. I think I'm most looking forward to just being there. I took a trip down to Peterborough when I was probably 5 years ago, but it's probably changed since then. But how beautiful it is down there, and how nice I've got to skate with some of the teammates and how nice they are. And yeah, it's just amazing. I think I only got one. Is my last name's Leskovar, so they just call me short form. They call me Lesky. So yeah, they just call me that for short form. I don't know if I know that one. I don't listen to a lot of music. I'm into country music, Luke Bryan, stuff like that, but I don't think I would listen to that before a game. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm big into fishing now. I got a pond at my house, so over the years I've started to fish a little, and I like ATVing. I go out with my sister and we go out ATVing around the farm. I would probably say watching Stanley Cup Finals last year, like Tampa winning, that was pretty unreal. That was a great game to watch. To be at Pete, it's just unreal. Just searching up how many great players have gone through the organization and how Pete's have been around for so many years and how amazing it is to be just selected by them is just unreal.
All right, welcome back to the second period of Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. Shane, I'd assume that growing up in Ontario, you were more than likely a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Now, what was it like hearing your name called by the Montreal Canadiens, one of the Leafs' biggest rivals back in 1984?
Well, first of all, just being drafted to, get the opportunity to realize your dream. I mean, you're not there yet because you're just drafted. Because I know a lot of guys that did get drafted made it to the NHL. I know a lot of guys that were drafted high and never made it. So just being drafted was pretty cool. And obviously would have went any place that I was drafted to. But growing up in Barrie, Ontario, I was obviously a big Leaf fan, Daryl Sittler fan, Lanny McDonald, Ian Turnbull, Palmetier. I could tell you a lot of the guys and loved all of them. We were big Leaf fans. And my dad and I weren't huge Habs fans, to be honest with you. We didn't like the Habs, but I grew to love them. A great history, and they treated me unbelievable, and I owe a lot to them. And my heart goes out to the Habs. They did so much for me, and lots of history behind them. But yeah, sitting there, we kind of knew there was a chance. They had told me the night before they were thinking about drafting me, even fifth. I was rated fifth the day of the draft, but then they drafted Peter Sabota, who they snuck out of Czechoslovakia, and then they made a trade to pick me eighth. So it was we were a little bit ticked that they didn't pick me fifth. But then when they got to the eighth spot and they heard there was a trade, and it was then we figured I was going to go to Montreal. So and my dad was always worried with the Habs. They had such great teams. A lot of guys got buried in the minors, so he was a little worried about that. But I mean, luckily for me, I came out of junior, made it my first year, and the rest is history. But they treated me incredible, and like I said, I owe so much to them. They got me started in my in my career and helped me realize my dream. And just a great organization. I can't say enough. The history and the players from Montreal were just incredible to me. Treated me so well and with so much respect, and taught me so much about the game off the ice, not only on the ice. So and I played with some great teammates. I'm probably sure we're going to get into talk about one of them, but Larry Robinson and Bob Gainey were such great people and mentors when I first got there. And then obviously Chris Chelios and friends like that I had from that I made such good friends we're so close to. But it was weird when I got my name called, but by the Habs, just thinking about how I thought about them at the time. But like I said, I was just happy to be drafted and lucky to go to such a great organization.
Crossroads is the story of Caleb Dahlgren, a young man who survived the bus crash and faced life after tragedy with resiliency and positivity. The Peterborough Petes are giving away a copy of this book to our fans. Just use the hashtag TNL and show us where you're watching tonight's show. We'll announce the winner in the coming weeks. Now, Shane, when you were a member of the Montreal Canadiens, you were a teammate with Bob Gainey, who is obviously a former Pete and NHL legend and a member of our board of directors right now. Talk about what it was like playing with such a legend like Bob.
I mean, it's so much. We could spend a whole hour on just Bob Gainey, but I mean, just the leadership that he gave to our hockey club. He taught us never to get too high and never to get too low. He always said, there's going to be ups and downs throughout a game, never mind a season, and you just got to stick with it. I mean, it's the hard work that he taught me too. I've never seen somebody work so hard in my career, in practice, in games, off the ice. He was just a hard worker, And like I said, the leadership that he led by example. I mean, he didn't say a whole lot all the time. He never yelled or screamed. It was just a certain voice, his voice is stern. But when he did talk, people listened because they had so much respect for him. And when he said something, and when he was mad, people knew there was a reason for it. He wasn't just barking for no reason at all. And it's just something that I have the utmost respect for. When I went through my anxiety and panic attacks, he was one of the first calls I got, and he actually showed up at my house and talked to me and helped me through it. And I owe a lot to Bob Gainey, and it's somebody that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And I mean, I don't get the opportunity to talk to him as much as I'd like to, but like you said, just such a great hockey player. But for me, it's the person that he was off the ice that for me was more important. But obviously a Hall of Fame guy and one of the best captains ever to play the game.
All right, fans, it's time for the second intermission of Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. Please welcome our musical guest, Kashaga.
Hey guys, Kashaga here. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody participating in this event, and thank you so much for inviting me to this event. It does mean the world to me. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. I was born and raised in Haliburton, Ontario, so I did go to quite a few Petes games in my day. Funny story, actually, the first game that I went to, I went fully dressed and prepared for a regular hometown arena. So as you can imagine, I looked like a goof walking in there with full winter clothes on, and everybody else was wearing regular clothes. So yeah, good times, lesson learned. But yeah, like I said, I think what you guys are doing here is great. Given the circumstances with COVID, you guys have had to work things out. So on that note, this is my new single called Work It Out, and I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Things are getting harder, started sipping on water, cause the liquor never took away the pain. Still smoking good on a Tuesday night, don't worry, everything's okay. Goddamn, what's the story, what's it look like? Shawty, what you saying about a good time? I've been focused on you lately, hope that's okay. I just wanna treat you good if that's alright. I just need a little pick-me-up so I can hold you down. I've been working on myself for you, so we can work everything out. I don't wanna let you go, I won't let myself go, I can't let us down. Cause you and me together's worth it if we make the effort, we'll be flexing, stretching, working everything out, yeah, yeah. We gon' work it out, we gon' work it out, we gon' work it out. What you saying, girl? I got a long list of things I wanna say to you, like why you playing games if you know I lose? Is it cause you know I'm gonna play with you? No matter the answer, I'm already there and I'm lost, I don't care, I got lost in the area, drawing parallels. Cause girl, I think we both so similar, we lost part of our lives in Ontario. Forget about the past, girl, you should focus on right now. Slow down, you're moving too fast, girl, you should take the night off, lie down. I know you wanted it and you're scared of the commitment, but there's only one way to find out. Cause you and me together's worth it if we make the effort, we'll be flexing, stretching, working everything out, yeah, yeah. We gon' work it out, we gon' work it out. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are all having a good night. Yeah, thank you. Hope I see you guys again sometime.
And welcome back to the third period of Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. Shane, you were a member of that 1998 Team Canada at the Nagano Olympics. It was obviously one of the first times that NHL players were allowed to compete in the Olympic Games. Talk about what it's like being a part of the Olympic Games and being a member of Team Canada.
I mean, like you said, it was the first time that professional hockey players were allowed to play, and we weren't sure how the amateur athletes would accept us, but they accepted us with open arms. It was just an incredible experience. It's one of my best hockey experiences and one of my worst, and we'll get into that after. But the experience of being there with all the other athletes from all the different countries and just spending time with them, and it taught me something. It taught me that I was very lucky to play a sport that I love playing and probably would do it for nothing, but I got paid to do it. And all these other amateur athletes, most of them work hard day and night at their craft, but they also have to work to pay their bills. And I just realized how lucky we were as professional athletes to be able to play a game and get paid to do it. So I have so much respect for them. I mean, they work 4 years. They're so hard to do their event, and they could be over in seconds. You know, if you're an ice skater, you fall, it's over for you, right? So it was just so much fun going and supporting them at their events. And then they supported us so much in our hockey event. So it was pretty cool. And to hang out in the Olympic Village was pretty cool, to be part of the opening ceremonies and the closing ceremonies, and to live in the village and eat all the different foods, because there's foods from different countries. And but just to spend the time with the different athletes and just learn how great they were and how hard they had to work.
Now we have a moment we're excited to announce that our guest next week will be CFL All-Star and Canadian Olympian bobsledder Jesse Lumsden. Make sure to tune in next Thursday night at 8 p.m. for that episode.
Now, as you mentioned earlier, playing in the Canada Cup, you were on a line with Gretzky and Peterborough legend Steve Larmer. Tell us what it was like being a member of that team and playing with such great players.
That was incredible. It was a year that they brought us in. There were 66 of us, and you had to make the team. And I walked in the dressing room, and we had 3 teams at that time. We were going to play like scrimmages and stuff, and cut the guys slowly, as Keenan was our coach, and Pat Burns and Sutter were our 3 coaches. I walked in the dressing room, and I see the lineup. I'm on a line with Gretzky and Larmer, and I just instant sweat, nerve. I was nervous as heck. And I remember the first scrimmage, Wayne sets me up with a wide open net, and I heeled it, went off my heel and into the corner. He comes over to me and says, "Don't worry about it, kid. You'll have lots of those." So it was funny. I mean, I played with Gretz and Larms. There were 60 of us, and 66 of us, and I played with those 2 guys pretty much the whole training camp. I think there was one scrimmage I played with Tocchet and somebody else, but I mean, right after that scrimmage, they put us back together, and I stayed with them for the rest of the training camp, played with them the whole tournament, and it was just incredible. I mean, again, it's just the on-ice stuff is playing with Gretzky and Larmer was incredible. I mean, they're such great players, the 2 of them. And I've already mentioned, I was talking about Larms. I mean, the guy's one of the most underrated players I've ever played with, and he's got to be in the Hall of Fame. He can do it all. He can do it all: power play, penalty kill, and he was tough on the puck. And he was a great leader too. And Gretzky, he speaks for himself, the greatest player to play the game. And I became really good friends with Gretzky. He was so good to me off the ice, and great to my parents too, which was incredible. And to win a championship with those guys, there were so many great players on that team. And I mean, Russ Cortman, who I played with in Montreal, was a part of that, and it was just incredible. Just represent your country. And again, we played Toronto and Hamilton, so I was lucky. I mean, I got to go and play in front of my old junior fans, and was pretty cool. But to play against the other great players too was incredible, and it's just something. And you learn so much from that. You learn so much from the guys off the ice that you play with too, and it was just incredible. And so many great guys. I can't go through them all, but it was a fun tournament playing.
After a few more stops, you ultimately ended up in Toronto as a member of the Maple Leafs. What was it like being on both sides of that crazy rivalry and then getting to play for a team you grew up watching?
Well, I mean, like you said, and we talked about, I was a Leaf fan growing up, Daryl Sittler fan, and I love Brian Trottier too, and Bobby Clark. They played the game the way I like to play the game, or tried to play the game. But be able to come back home and put that Toronto Maple Leaf jersey on my childhood favorite team, and to be Daryl Sittler as one of my favorite players was pretty cool and pretty incredible, and one of the moments in my career that I'll never forget. I mean, it was at the end of my career, and I knew that my role would probably have to change coming to Toronto. They had a really good team, and but I was just excited to come home and get the opportunity to be close to my family. Was another part of the decision too. My dad had passed away at 45. My mom was here. My brother-in-law was playing the Leafs. My sisters were all here. My friends were all close to Toronto or in Toronto, but a lot of them in Barrie. So it was pretty cool. It was tough leaving Montreal, though. I'm not going to tell anything different. I played there for 10 years. was an incredible ride there. I had a lot of great friends in there, had a lot of family in Montreal, and the organization was unbelievable. And the city and the fans were incredible too. So it was a tough move. And I had other options. Philadelphia was an option, and Boston and a couple other teams. But ultimately, I wanted to go to a team that had a chance to win. They had an incredible team here in Toronto, great group of guys, and great fans here in Toronto too, and a great place to play hockey. And I look at it thinking that I was really lucky. I played for two of the greatest sports organizations, never mind hockey organizations. So I feel pretty lucky and honored to be able to play for both those teams.
Shayne, a great NHL career, a couple World Juniors and Olympic Games, a lot of great memories. But what would you say has been your favorite memory of your career so far?
I'd have to say the day I was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens at the Montreal Forum, because I shared it with my parents. My mom and dad were there. They sacrificed so much for me to play hockey, play minor hockey. They ran me around all my practices. They sacrificed things of their own things, the things that they could have did or had to pay for my hockey and get me to the rink and drive me around to different games and tournaments and stuff like that. So that would be the most special moment, because I knew that at that time too, I'd have an opportunity to realize my dreams and goals in life. And that was to play in the NHL. And to share that with them was my greatest moment. I mean, I did a lot of great things, and we've talked about a lot of them and played in a lot of different Team Canada stuff and went to the Stanley Cup and things like that. But that was the most thing that's the thing I'll think of the most and will always cherish, because I got to share with the two people that meant the most to me and helped me the most get to where I wanted to get to, play in the OHL, play in the NHL. And they supported me over the years in the OHL, ups and downs what I had in my NHL career too. And then I'd say probably the next thing was I helped this young kid after I was done playing hockey. I was doing an event in Niagara Falls, hometown hockey. And I could tell this kid, and I've been through my mental health stuff myself. I have my own issues and illnesses with mental health. And I could just tell he was having a tough time. So I told the person who was looking after my handler, they call him, to tell the young fella to wait for me. I talked to him after and talked to him for 25 minutes after. And sure enough, he was going through some tough times with mental health, and just told him to hang in there and get the help, and don't be embarrassed. And it's okay not to be okay, and get the proper help. And a year later, he contacted me and said, Shayne, that saved my life. So for me, I mean, all the hockey stuff is great, but that was probably one of the most incredible things that I achieved in my life.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Shayne. We really appreciate you taking the time. Now we'll send it back over to Courtney.
The Peterborough Petes would like to thank you for tuning in to Thursday Night Live presented by Subway. Make sure to tune in at 8 next Thursday night. Have a great night, everyone.
Gloria.